We have two factions that are not frequently featured on my replays because they aren't usually the most exciting to watch. But this was a good one from Sir Tarquin and Zale. Sir Tarquin trying out the Shadows of Change DLC hype with a full Rush Cathay. Crowmen, Jade Lancers, Peasant Horsemen, and the like, buffed up by the Jet Lions, who do provide the ranged version of Battle Harmony. That's nice. Harmony did just take a nerf, but it's still a cool little tech piece to give your mobile units some buffs without needing a ranged unit. Now on the side of the dwarves, we do have 3 cannons? No, 2 cannons and a grudge thrower, the Dragonback Slayers, a bunch of Quarrelers, Ulthar's Raiders, the Rangers Regiment of Renown, Dwarf Warriors on the front line, some with great weapons, some without, and then Thoric Ironbrow post nerfs. For Cathay, we have 2 Peasant Horsemen, 4 Jade Lancers, 4 Onyx Crowmen, the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, 2 Jet Lions, a Celestial General with his spin, and a Metal Caster, the Alchemist with just Searing Doom. Peasant Horsemen in the Vanguard already getting their value as they shut down a cannon. A Quarreler gets charged by the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, then extra charged by the Jade Lancers who weave right in between them. Onyx Crowmen are also immediately on the ranged units of the Dwarves. And it's a very, very good start for Cathay, as the Dwarves are a little slow to respond on that front line. Onyx Crowmen trying to get out of range of those Quarrelers, but not quite able to do so. Celestial General fighting some Dwarf Warriors with great weapons as a Searing Doom hits those guys. I imagine he'll do his sweep pretty soon. There it is. Takes a giant chunk of health out of those guys. They'll be just fine. The Dwarves have lost a lot of their ranged units already. Looks like 2 cannons are down. No, 1 cannon. What is that, a Quarreler? Yeah, it's a Quarreler. Missile Mirror for a cannon, so they shoot themselves while the Peasant Horsemen are busy taking out a Goblaba. Dwarf Warriors and Quarrelers still attempting to get what fight out they can. The bounce power is dead even, which means Cathay has also taken some losses. Peasant Horsemen and Jade Lancers are almost dead on the back line. This Onyx Crowman is almost dead. This Onyx Crowman is almost dead. Another Jade Lancer is half HP. So it has not been all fun and games for the forces of Cathay and their mighty rush. Jet Lion is on the ground fighting some cannons, swiping at the sky while Longbeards poke at his bub, which is fair. Alchemist is currently surrounded by Dwarf Warriors, and Dragonback Slayers catch her too. She is on horseback, so their anti-large does apply, and that means she'll get torn apart very, very quickly. With only 50 armor, she does not have a lot of defense. A Searing Doom attempts to bail her out, and that should do a really good bit of damage, as the Dragonback Slayers are already taking a lot from the Crowman and downhill charge of these Jade Lancers. She does get to safety, took a lot of damage in the process, but it was probably all worth it. Thoric is fighting the Jet Lion. Jet Lions are terrible melee combatants despite their decent stats. They just never really seem to do that well, so both Jet Lions are not feeling the best. For the Dwarves, they still have a cannon, technically online. Missile Mirror is hitting them right now, but they could get back on their mounts any time that they please, as Jade Lancers are stuck fighting Dwarf Warriors. The Dwarves are a sturdy folk, and their melee infantry are not to be scoffed at. Onyx Crowman doing their best to fight right now. Harmony buffs giving them 41-38 for melee stats. Another Searing Doom, though, is going to hit the Dwarves all nice and blobbed up, though the cast did cost the Alchemist a bit of health for being too near to Thoric Ironbrow when she did it. Celestial General guy fighting some Dwarf Warriors with his Righteous Lances of Wei Jin and Jade Lancers. He does have the Grand Lord of Cathay buff. I don't know if it's popped right now. It does not look like it is. And he'll just path his way out of here. The Righteous Lances are going to be pretty key in this late game. They have really good armor accuracy values. Jet Lions still rampaging through the Dragonback Slayers, who are down to 4 models. Other than that is just Dwarf Warriors. Dwarf Warriors. As far as the state of the game goes, Cathay has shut down almost all of the Dwarven range for good, so now it is just melee infantry and Thoric Ironbrow. Grudge Thrower is offline, Dwarf Warriors barely clinging to life. Jet Lion does not cause terror, it just causes fear. These guys aren't going to terror out for nothing. The Celestial General's still out here, he's doing stuff. Bonking some dwarves on the head. Looks like they'll get routing soon, and then cavalry can just pursue all these guys out here, get rid of them. More Dwarf Warriors may be routing on the low ground. This cavalry rips straight through the area. It's looking tough. Thoric's trying to rally his troops. He can get them all back to perfect vigor, fresh with his Rune of Hearth and Home. Replenishes their vigor every second. So these guys will be nice and fresh, keeping their leadership and stats high. Cathay does need to finish chasing off anything they've routed. They can't allow that stuff to come back and be a nuisance for them in the future. Another Searing Doom, and also someone's been casting Missile Mirrors, because I see the Jet Lions are taking damage on themselves. And they do get that from casting their bound spells, so they'll have to be careful about that. More Dwarf Warriors are going to rout from the Jade Lancer charge. Alchemist Elixir of Puissance. Puissance? I don't know what that is. Did give a brief plus 40 melee attack period. Thoric pops the Rune of Doom, giving everybody fear and a bunch of melee attack. But bounce power shifted too far against the dwarves at this point. And I think the Cathay Cav Rush is going to be successful. Another Searing Doom hits all the dwarves. The Alchemist falls back for now. Jet Lions are also taking a bunch of damage and falling back, but the Celestial General is in here, and he does have his spin if the game takes too long. Another Searing Doom from the Alchemist pokes these guys. And with only 51 HP, I don't know if she actually comes back at all. Celestial General is surrounded by all these dwarves. I haven't seen him spin in a while, but it is a very small animation, so it can be easy to miss. And quickly the dwarves are rendered down to just Thoric. Everything else is routing. The Righteous Lances of Wei Jin will surround him. Get a good collective beatdown going. Rune of Doom gives him some more stats, but it's not defensive stats, which is what he needs versus Righteous Lances. They will take him down, especially with a Harmony buff coming in from the Jet Lion. And the full rush Cathay with no ranged units using the Jet Lions as little boosters does alright. Now, Jet Lions are still bad melee combatants. Neither of them came even close to paying for themselves, but you mostly take them for the Harmony. Alchemist did alright. Righteous Lances did great. Celestial General did alright, considering how cheap he is. Onyx Croman do amazingly well all the time. Jade Lancers, Peasant Horsemen, mixed value overall. For Zale, Thoric did well. Dragonback Slayers did well. All the artillery was immediately shut down. Definitely was not expecting a full Cathay rush. And after that, Quarrelers also shut down very quickly. Then the Dwarf Warriors got their value back in the bump and grind. GG.
Roar. Subscribe, yes.